I was always thinking somebody else will do it, you know, from Bosnia, from abroad, whatever. But I really thought it can't be me. After 5 of my films, documentaries and fiction, I thought, okay, as a directress, I feel I'm ready. But there was also another another part of obstacles, which is how to deal with this, how to survive this political things, how to make production, which is for Bosnia absolutely enormous, and all of these things. And as I said, this huge responsibility towards the survivors, because they are living among us, and they all have their own vision of what happened. They saw it with their eyes, and how can I make images which will, which they will say, yes, it was like that, or, they will say it wasn't like that. So this was a huge thing that I was thinking. Yeah, absolutely. I had feeling in one moment that nobody wants me to make this film. In one, like in Srebrenica, where today mayor of Srebrenica, who is Serbian, he denies that genocide happened. There are people like that in our government, and they would, like when we were asking for certain stuff from the army, they didn't allow us to have. When we were looking for locations, we always got rejection. And, even from the Bosniak side, where you thought you will get immediate support, I thought they didn't believe I should make the film, or, in this way films should be made. So producer Damir Ibrahimovic and I, and then the whole team, we felt quite isolated in all of that. But there was this big wish to make a movie, to communicate about this very painful thing for us, and very unjust thing for the world, I can say. I did a huge research. I really read everything I could, and I talked to many people. There was a book by Hasan Nuhanovic, Under UN Flag. He was a survivor who was translator and who had to translate to his family, now you have to leave the base. So this was for me like inspiration, where I thought a translator who can show Bosnians, because it has destiny of Bosnians, and also UN side is a character that can bridge these two worlds. And immediately I decided not to change names of historical figures like Karaman's, Frank, and General Mladic, but I wanted to be as accurate as possible. Of course, knowing it is film, it has to have film rules. Like, there were several meetings of Mladic in Hotel Fontana with Karamans, but I had to put it in one scene because otherwise it would be boring. But the rest of it, I really kept as accurate as possible, because I didn't want this story to be diminished by somebody saying, oh, it wasn't, this fact is false. Because we are living in this moment where there are so many denial, I really wanted that even people who don't believe that genocide happened can't have a moment where they will say, okay, she lied or she cheated. I wanted to be as accurate as possible, but again, having in mind this is a movie, fiction, it's a fiction, so I had to respect rules of films and rules of how audience is able to see stuff. Because there were so many things which were so brutal, but you cannot put them in a movie. It will, audience will lose it. So it was a lot of balancing to do, and a lot of talking to people who experienced these events, and I was taking their emotions through me, trying to be, truthful to every event. Yeah, we first show it to them, because for us, they are really crucial to say what they think about a film. I was showing through rough cut also to some people who were experts, but then we had screening for mothers of Srebrenica, organizations of victims, and they really appreciated film so much because it was telling their story in a way they think it's truthful, and for them it was very, very emotional. So they're in a way grateful that film exists and then can tell stories in places where they are not able to travel and to tell what happened to them. I think I love people's faces. I love people and, to show their faces. And this is most important thing for me while preparing the film, to find the right faces that have whole history, that have geography which tells what happened and how they think, and, that we see their soul. Very often when I see some films, after 3 minutes, I can't go on because faces are not fully human. They don't have fullness in them. So this is, maybe it's coming from that. I think the faces are the crucial for communication, and I love people's faces and I want to show them. There were many extras who did survive concentration camps and who they did survive torture. Like there was one scene where I was telling extras, please go to this truck and do like this. And there was one man who said, it's not what they did to us. It's not the way they did to us. And I was like, what? And he said, I was in concentration camp, and I know when they are transporting us how they did it. Wow. So I said, okay, we will listen to him, how he explains what we should do, we will do it. Or there was a situation, when one actor is coming to give bread, and we had rehearsals, extras were there, and suddenly 2 women started hysterically to cry, and we couldn't calm them down. They were kids when they were in concentration camps, and they knew this actor is very famous Bosnian actor, but they were triggered by his uniform with his guns, and they couldn't stop. We had to call emergency. So these kind of things, I thought I have to show them. They tell story even just with one shot. Yeah, from very beginning, our team, Christine Meyer, Damir, me, decided that we will not show this, the spectacle of war. That maybe because, I lived through war, I really hated this pleasure of showing certain eroticism of war. I can't stand it the way some war films are showing it. So my feeling of war, it's banality of evil, and I really wanted to show it in that way. And plus, I always think audience can imagine more than we can show. So I was leaving a lot of things to audience and showing just before or after what happened.
ボスニア紛争末期の1995年、セルビア人勢力に侵攻されたボスニア東部の町スレブレニツァ。
Kaže da rade sve što je u njihovoj moći, dali su Srbima formalni ultimatum.
Stalno isto govorite. Ništa se ne događa.
Je li to gradonačelnik?
国連保護軍の通訳として働くアイダ。
Ljudi, baza je puna. Niko više ne može ući u bazu. Jesi vidio moje? A gdje su tvoji?
Nema potrebe da ginuš.
Dogovoreno je da se stanovništvo izmjesti tamo gdje je bezbjedno.
Ze zeiden dat we de cijfers niet moesten opnaaien.
I won't say.
Cijev nadam zdrave.
Then what should I do then? General Mladic!
Ali dogovor je bio...
My son and my husband are at the gate. They won't let them in.
How do you imagine? I can let your family in, turn all the others away.
Gotovi smo. Ispituju muškarce i ubijaju tu 200 metara bazu.
Vesme, možeš mu povesti moje sinove iz baze, molim te.
Pokušaj sakriti neku od mašina.
戦後ヨーロッパ最悪の悲劇スレブレニツァ・ジェノサイド事件の真実そして家族を守ろうとした一人の女性の運命とは。
Nemojte! Nemoj, oni su moji!
愛だよどこへ。